do want to do a quick video for you all and talk about how to get things done as a busy student. If you're a parent or you're working full-time and you're in school or you got other obligations and it just can take away from school, here are some tips to help you get through it. So I did complete my nursing program while working full-time. I did not have kids at the time, but I did work full-time. I basically did not have a day off for the first 6 months. I went to work on the weekends and one day out the week, and then I went to school Monday through Friday, so I didn't have any days off. So let me give you all some tips. I do have two very long they're like, it's a 2-part video about how I worked while in school and graduate at the top of my class. It's a long video, so I don't blame you all. You busy, you can't sit there and watch that whole long video, but go check it out if you don't mind. But I want to just give you all some quick tips. So the first thing is that you have to understand what your distractions are, and you have to avoid them like the plague, okay? Avoid your freaking distractions. So that can mean things like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube could be a distraction. And I would say turn off your notifications, like go on the settings on your phone, turn off notifications for everything. Because I don't know if you all are like me, since I am, also a influencer or YouTuber, whatever you want to call me. I do have a lot of obligations to answer my emails, to look at my Instagram feed, to look at YouTube comments and respond to them and things like that. So, and then also to accept you all to the Facebook group. So I do have those notifications on, but I have turned them off, and just periodically throughout the day I'll go and check. But I had to turn my notifications off because it's just, I'm on the internet all the freaking time, on my phone all the time, so it's a big distraction. So definitely turn off your notifications for different things that you have, social media that you have. Secondly, I would say is make sure that you look at your work schedule and try to find the best schedule that you can. And if you have to work more if you have to work more hours in a day, sorry, I didn't want my camera to fall down, but if you have to work more hours in a day so that you could work less days, I would say that's better than working more days and less hours per day. You get what I'm saying? Because more than likely the program that you're in is going to be like a Monday through Friday program. So like with me, I worked in the healthcare field, so it was a lot easier for me to go ahead and work on the weekends. I did 16-hour shifts, and then I had 1 8-hour shift during the week. That fit me. It may not fit you. You might be like, oh my goodness, like I can't afford this, da 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 da. I would say maybe go down, if you like, I'm really talking to people who work in healthcare or who are CNA, CMTs already, or maybe you're already a nurse. And is this my turn? And you're going back to nursing school? I'm kind of talking to you all because I know in the nursing field, like, there's so much flexibility with our schedule because nursing is 24 hours. So I would say if you have to, do part-time. Go down part-time so you can work less days, and then get you one job that you know that's going to pay more than that part-time. So like, say I were to go back to school right now and I still wanted to work full-time while I was in school, which who about to do that with 2 kids? I'm not about to do that. 2 under 2? No, I'm not doing that. But say for instance I wanted to, I would do probably part-time in my job and then pick up agency. That way I can make more money during doing less amount of hours of work. Hold on, y'all. Okay, we have arrived, almost at Starbucks. So see how you can work your schedule so that you work less days and more hours within a day. Okay, do that. If you have to become a CNA before you become a nurse, I would say do that, just so you can work that nursing schedule and make things way more convenient for yourself. I would say do that. Let me get in this spot, y'all. Trying to play no games with nobody. So my third tip would be to record your lectures. Now I say this in all my videos, well not all my videos, but I do bring this up a lot because recording your lectures is clutch. Because times like this, when you're driving to and from work, you want to be able to still be able to study. Because just think about your commute time. The time it takes you just to commute to and from work, to and from school, or just to the grocery store, anywhere. picking your kids up, whatever the case may be, it's probably easily about 2 hours a day of your time is spent in traffic, you know, commuting. So that's 2 hours you could be studying. So it's kind of like listening to podcasts or something. So if you cannot record your professor, I would say record yourself reading over your notes. Or you can record yourself reading the book, or either reading the book or reading your notes, and just record yourself on your phone. You don't need any type of recording app or nothing. And then if you record it on your phone, or say like somebody in your class, like you missed class or something, somebody in your class records a lecture, they can just email it to you, things like that. You can label it, you know, make sure it has the right dates on there and the chapter and all that good stuff, and have it really organized. And that's the perfect way to study on the go. I did it all the freaking time. Fourth thing I would say do is to, if you don't have time to read the whole chapter, what you do is you go through and just skim through the chapter, look at all the headings, and then kind of get an idea. Okay, you look at all the headings of each paragraph or each section, read that, and then read the chapter summary at the end of the chapter. Or you could just read the chapter summary. That will give you some bullet points, some things the gist of the chapter before you go into class. Now, of course, you should read your chapters all the way through. I 100% believe that you should read. But if you don't have time, it is what it is. Or just skim through the PowerPoints if you can before class. It's really good to get something done before class so that you go into class already knowing what's going to be talked about, and you can have an idea of, it's really smart, because you might have questions like after you read the chapter, you be like, oh man, I want to know, like, I'm so confused. If you didn't read or didn't skim or didn't get any idea of what the hell the chapter was about before you went to class, guess what? You are now reading this at home by yourself after the teacher has went over it in lecture, and you don't understand something, and maybe you have a test on it, like, you know, the next day, or a quiz on it or something like that. You lost that opportunity to ask that question and to get a better understanding, because you didn't even come into class with any type of knowledge. And then on top of that, it takes us, I believe I read somewhere, it takes like 3 times for you to really understand something. Reading something 3 times or seeing something 3 times for you to really get a grasp of it. So if you read it before class, that's 1 time. When you have lecture, that's your 2nd time. And then afterwards, when you go over your study material, go over your notes, or when you reread the chapter, or you read the chapter more in depth afterwards, then that's your 3rd time. So like I said, it takes 3 times to really get it in your mind. So keep that in mind. The 5th one is for me, I recorded lectures, so that way, I wouldn't say that in class I didn't pay attention, but while I was in class, I used that time to make study material. So I would like write out my flashcards, because when you're writing flashcards, I was still able to listen to what the teacher was saying, but I would just write out the flashcards. And when you're writing them, you don't really have to think when you write flashcards. You can just write them out, if you get what I'm saying, because you're just basically, especially if you're doing like definitions, you're not really, I don't know how to say, like, you don't have to concentrate when you do them. But when you do flashcards like at home by yourself, I will say concentrate while you're doing it. That way you're actually studying, not just writing stuff down. But when I did it in class, I was able to listen while also like just writing them down, like boom, 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 boom. I would say kind of like in a mindless way. I hope y'all get where I'm coming from. But so that was that. Do your study material while you're in class. Write outlines out before you even go to class. And I'm thinking about making some outlines. Let me know if that's something y'all think y'all might like. I do like some study outlines for like each disease. The disease, pathophysiology, signs and symptoms, treatments, patient teaching, nursing interventions, things like that, to break down each disease. So I'm thinking about maybe I'll do something like that. And you just write the heading. You can do it yourself. I think I have a video showing how to do it. If not, I'll do one. But basically, you'll just type out each one. each of those things I just said, and then leave yourself some space to actually write in what they are based off what you hear in lecture and based off what you read in your chapters. It's really good to have something like that already made before you go into class. That's why I'm thinking I might make some up for you all, and like I said, create an ebook from it. That way it's like one less thing you have to do, because stuff like that can be time consuming. Next thing I would say, do, so yeah, I said make an outline before you come to class. Work on your notes while you're in class. If you work on your notes and your study materials while you're in class, guess what? After class, when you gotta go to work, boom, you already got your study material already made. Even if you didn't even freaking read the chapter yet, you already probably got a nice little stack of flashcards you already made while you were in class. I would even, when I was in class, I would record the lecture, and I was able to hear, because I'm an auditory learner, so I was able to hear what she was saying, and even answer questions, chime in and everything, and still like look at whatever part she was going over. I would look at that part in the chapter and kind of skim through it and write different things on my flashcards, like signs and symptoms of Guillain-Barré or something. Is that how you pronounce it, Guillain-Barré? But anyways, signs and symptoms of that, signs and symptoms of diabetes, and I'll be able to write that out while I'm listening to her going over lecture, and I'm reading it in the book at the same time. I'm underlining and highlighting. Like, I basically studied the whole time I was in class. I think it's so important to use class time to learn. Do not just sit in the class looking at the teacher, just twiddling with your freaking fingers or trying to get on Instagram. Like, yeah, you have to use time in class very, 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 very wisely. Be smart. And I'm over here about to pass this place if I gotta turn around. But be smart, okay? That's my biggest thing, is use your time wisely. That's the best way to use your time wisely. I am at this job, you all, so I gotta get off of here. I'm gonna come back with some more tips. Let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna come back with some more tips. It's something weird on my camera, so I hope this has been recording. Otherwise, I've just been talking to myself for no reason. All right, y'all. Let me know if there's any other videos y'all want to see, and I will be back. All right, peace.